Hola mi gente, it's August, back again with another recipe. Now tonight we're making a side dish that many people love, but many people also don't know how to make. Tonight we are making Mexican rice. Now in Spanish this dish has a couple of different names. Arroz Mexicano, Arroz Rojo, Sopa de Arroz, but whatever you call it, following this recipe is going to be delicious. Now, I'm not going to say it's traditional because I do take some little shortcuts here and there, and I add my own twist to it. My twist is that I add in sofrito and Sazon Goya. Those are traditionally used in Latin Caribbean cooking. And so we got the rice from Mexico, but we got the spices from the island, so it's like you're getting the best of both worlds. So follow me and set up this delicious side dish that all of your friends and family gonna love. Alright, for this dish, you are going to need 1 cup of rice, 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, or caldo de pollo, 1 tablespoon of sofrito, a half a teaspoon of cumin, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a cup of tomato sauce, some salt, 1 packet of Sazon Goya, and about 1.5 cups of water. Now we are making this in an Instapot. First you're gonna put it on saute mode, and you're gonna put a little bit of oil heating up. And the first step that we're gonna do is saute our sofrito. Now I have it on the saute mode and is also on less, because the Instapot heats up a lot and I don't want to burn the sofrito, just kind of melts it down and saute it lightly. So I have it on less. Now, if you do not have an Instapot, you can easily make this on the stove, basically just following the same steps. Just the only difference on the stove is going to take a little bit more time and you're going to use more water. If you're making this on the stove, you're going to use 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice.
Where'd you get the sofrito from?
The sofrito, I made it. And like I've been promised y'all, I finally made a video on how to make sofrito, which is going to be available, and I'm going to link it in here.
That sounds nice. Smells good too.
I knew it was coming. Chris loves the smell of sofrito cooking.
Sofrito, all the herbs. Is there herbs in there? No.
Yes, herbs.
Oh,
the
okay.
cilantro and culantro.
Just want to make sure I'm saying.
So now that most of that sofrito is melted down just a little chunk, you're gonna take your 1 cup of rice. This has been rinsed, and I shook it really well to get most of the water out. And the reason I did that is because we are actually going to be, sorry y'all, we also have something else going on the stove. Chris has some boiled eggs for his salad.
You got to have your protein.
Well, like I said, we rinsed this rice but shuck most of the water because we're actually going to, I don't want to say saute it, but we're actually going to be toasting it. Alright, so.
Now you say toasting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opposite of roasting it.
Yeah, that would be the opposite of roasting it. So you're just gonna kind of stir your rice around the pot, move it around. And we're going to do this for about 3 to 5 minutes until you see some bits of your rice starting to get a light brown color.
Okay, they're going to get a little light brown. It's
still
going to be hard, right?
Yeah, it's still going to be hard. It's not going to be soft and cooked. It's just essentially the color is going to change.
That's just dry rice with some oil and sofrito.
Yes. And make sure you keep it moving around, because if you just leave it sit like this and you walk away,
it's going to stick, huh?
It's going to stick, and it's probably going to end up burning. So be sure, just keep moving it around. Like I said, you ain't going to do this for long, for about 3 to 5 minutes.
That's a long periodical time.
All right. So now some of the bits of the rice are starting to get toasted and starting to get brown at the ends. And if you look, you're starting to get, a little bit of, not burnt ends, but it's called fond in cooking. A little bit fond at the bottom. That's
fond, huh?
Fond. That's a good sign that you can move on to the next step. So we're going to throw in our half a cup of tomato sauce.
Oh, the fond, like a bond.
Yes.
Well, and you like my
and go ahead and mix that up. And just cook the tomato sauce for a quick second. It ain't gotta be long. And go ahead, start scraping up some of that fine off of the pot. Now, what my favorite part of rice is that once it's finished cooking and you get some of that burnt bits at the bottom, in Spanish it's called pegao. It is so good. We're also gonna throw in our cumin and just quickly toast it for a quick second.
Gotta keep it moving.
Keep it moving, keep it moving. And then now we're gonna throw in our 1.5 cups of water.
Because we're on the Instapot.
Yes. Remember, if you're doing this on the stovetop, you're gonna do 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. And then, you know, if you need to make more, just double the recipe. All right.
It smells like the Mexican rice at the restaurant.
All right, now that the water's in there, we're going to put in our chicken bouillon, our garlic and onion powder.
You mix them together in one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Save containers, I guess.
And save on dishes. Stir that up. Stir, 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 stir it good. Make sure every grain of rice gets touched by some garlic and some onion.
And some water.
And then our sazon.
That's rich in color.
And just a quick little pinch of salt. And you know, the salt, I didn't give a measurement because that's mainly going to be to taste. If you like your rice saltier, not as salty. I like it a little bit less salty because I want all the other spices like the garlic, the onion, the sazon to come out more so than the salt. But like I said, it's all going to be to your preference, to your flavor.
Salt can overpower the...
If you put too much. Now, we're going to come back to the front of the Instapot. We're going to press cancel. And we're going to put it on the cooking function. But before we do that, come back to the pot. We are going to... spoon. We are going to taste test the juice. Because whatever the juice tastes like, that's what your rice will taste like. So you taste the juice. See, what do you need more of? Some more salt. Maybe you want some more garlic. So always taste the juice first and then put it cooking. Because once your lid closes, whether you're on the Instapot or on the stove, since you're cooking rice, you can't open it back up and add stuff later until it's done cooking. So taste it before. Sorry. So go ahead, close our Instapot. Make sure it is on sealing, not venting. And then go ahead, press the rice function. It's set at 12 to low pressure, and it's gonna go ahead and start. Now, if you're not using the Instapot, at this point, what you would do is wait until that liquid comes to a light brown, and then you're going to reduce your heat down to the lowest setting. So not even to, well, depending on which stove, if you look at our stove, so you're gonna set your stove to the lowest temperature possible, cover it with the lid, and then let it steam for about 20 to 25 minutes. After that, turn the heat off completely, let it sit again for another about 5 minutes, and then you can open the lid. With the Instapot, once it's finished cooking, we'll release the pressure, and I'll show you what the final product looks like. Alright, so the Instapot finished cooking. I let it sit for about 5 minutes because I'm also making some tacos and beans to go along with this rice. But you can see the pin is still up on the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just manually release it. So we're going to turn the knob to release. And you just let it release until that little pin drops. Alright, y'all see how it dropped right there?
Yeah, it's gone.
Alright, so now you can open it. What I like about the Instapot is that it's not going to let you open it until that little thing drops. Alright. And if you come in, see, I know it's a little steamy, but see this good Arroz Mexicano. Right, you can come in and fluff it up with a fork. Let some of that steam escape.
Come on, special effects.
And that is it. That is your sopa de arroz. Alright, mi gente, thank you for joining me for another recipe. As always, like and subscribe so you can keep track and follow me as I keep on cooking more and more. Share this video or some of your other favorite ones on Facebook, Instagram, any of your social media. And finally, please comment below. Tell me what recipes you want me to cook. Tell me what recipes you would like to try. And as always, buen provecho.